getting bigger. No limitations. We're getting bigger. Go.
Any refreshment, okay, that way. If you are not a child, please carry your stomach go. And oil assembly is taking place immediately.
You are the way, truth, and the life, Jesus. You never leave me nor forsake me. Except you build a house, the builders build in vain. Me, I follow you to go. Anywhere you lead me, I will go. Jesus, save my life.
My life is for your glory. Your glory,
yeah. Chinedumo, chinedumo, chinedumo. Taking me higher, Jesus. You never leave me nor forsake me. Chinedumo, dumo, 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 dumo. You're taking me higher.
I like it.
I like the way.
I like the way you take me.
You make it, you make it, you make it. Yeah.
You made a little inside you, feel as if I'm big.
Your grace.
Grace made a difference, just embarrass me.
I said I like it. I like the way.
I like the way you take me.
Yeah. Promotion everywhere. Contracts everywhere. Lifting money everywhere. Cause you lead me every day. I say I like it. I like the way.
I like the way you lead me.
Yeah. Promotion everywhere. Contracts everywhere. Lifting money everywhere. Cause you lead me every day. Yeah. I said I like it. I like the way.
I like the way you lead me.
So you make it, you make it, you make it, yeah.
Made a little inside you, feel as if I'm big.
Your grace.
Grace made a difference, just embarrass me.
I said I like it. I like the way.
I like the way you lead me.
You make it, you make it, you make it, yeah.
Made a little inside you, feel as if I'm big.
Your grace.
Grace made a difference, just embarrass me.
I said I like it. I like the way.
I like the way you lead me.
I say, except you build a house, the builders build in vain. Me and they follow you to go. Anywhere you lead me, I go go. Jesus, save my life.
My life is for your glory, your glory.
Do more, do more, do more, do more, do more, do more. Me, I go follow you, follow you, follow you. Jesus, save my life.
My life is for your glory, your glory.
it. Oh, I like the way. I like the way you lead me. Yeah, promotion everywhere, contract everywhere, making money everywhere. 'Cause you dey lead me every day. I say I like it. I like the way. You lead me.
You may be seated. You may be seated. I like the way we work on Sunday. Everybody works hard. We just make sure that the day is maximized. If you can pick up my microphone a little bit. I need us to turn our Bibles to Psalm 127 and the verse number 3. This word has been in my heart for over 3-4 weeks now, and I'm so glad you stayed behind to listen to it. And those of you that are online, thank you so much for being online with us to follow this message. And I want to believe that it will bless your life. I have no doubt about it. The Bible said, "Lo, children are the heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. As arrows are in the hands of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. As arrows are in the hands of a mighty man." We've been looking at a certain mighty man by the name of Moses, who God commanded to take a journey of destiny. And that journey of destiny was to go and be a deliverer to the people of Israel who were in Egypt at that time. So this man of God was sent on a mission, an expedition to go and deliver 4.5 million Jews from the land of Israel, from the land of Egypt, I beg your pardon, and take them into the promised land. Every one of us is on a journey. Every one of us is on a mission. Every one of us, God has called us and God has given us an assignment. Every one of us, we are on a journey of destiny. We are all deliverers. So, and we are on a journey, and the mandate is to deliver our people from poverty, from sin, from curses, from bondage, from sicknesses and death. We are sent on a mission. Moses undertook this journey, and the Bible describes a caravan. The caravan is the convoy of people that were with him. We are told that Moses took his wife. This is the way the Bible puts it in Exodus chapter number 4. The Bible said that, and Moses and Aaron. No, this is not what I'm interested in. This is not what I'm interested in. Exodus chapter 4 and the verse number 19 and 20. The Bible said, "And the Lord said unto Moses in Midian, Go, return into Egypt, for all the men are dead which sought thy life. And Moses took his wife and his sons and set them upon an ass and returned to the land of Egypt. And Moses took the rod of the Lord, the rod of God, in his hand." Next week, Sunday, in the oil assembly, I'll be speaking about Moses took the donkey, or Moses took the ass. But today, I want to be speaking about Moses took his wife and Moses took his sons. But then we will examine the life of Moses and find out, did he really take them well? And that is where Minister Jane Yarrow's message comes handy. That, you know what? He took them, but he didn't take them. Just like many of us think we are taking them, but we are not taking them. She showed us clearly. She made my work very easy. Not that she made my work easy. She did the real work I was supposed to do. She did the real work I was supposed to do. And I'm just sitting down and I'm saying my message would have been incomplete without her contribution, because I am coming to tell you what is wrong with us. She told us how to repair it. So I only came here to diagnose a malaise. I just came to diagnose a sickness. But this woman of God wrote the prescription and supplied the medicine that we need to deal with the sickness. So she talked about it, and she did it so well. Now she told us we were sick, but maybe because she was a woman and she used that gracious voice, you didn't really understand you were sick. Now I'm coming to tell you, you have a cancer, you have a tumor, you are about to die, and your whole family is about to die. So that the medicine she gave you, you would take it. Because you see, if you don't see the gravity of your situation, you will not take the medicine. When you see somebody, they say, oh, they gave him medication, he forgot. It's because they didn't tell you that it was a cancer. Cancer, you forget the medicine. But Moses took his wife Zipporah, and Zipporah means a bird. It means to pierce. It means chirp. It means to shriek. And it also means to leap. And last week, I told you about Zipporah, the wife. He also took his sons. And the sons were two. Gershom, which means I am a stranger in a strange land. And Eleazar, which means that, or Eliza, that means God is my helper because he has delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. Moses had two sons. One of them was Gershom, the other one was Eliza. We are not told he had more. We don't know. There is a lot about Moses' family life. We really don't know what happened. But his two sons, Gershom and Eliza, there is not so much about them in the Bible. Not so much about them in the Bible. The first time you hear of them, after that incident when the Bible said he took his sons, then the angel of the Lord came upon them and nearly killed Moses, but for the intervention of but for the intervention of Zipporah, who circumcised, I believe, Gershom, along the line, Moses would have died. Or some commentators believe that it was rather Gershom who the angel wanted to kill. But I think it was Moses himself. God is saying, you know what? You've been careless with this assignment of taking care of your child. Archie asked me a question last week. He said, Daddy, so this whole thing, Gershom and Eliza and Moses, is it the responsibility of the parent or the responsibility of the child? I said it's the responsibility of the parent, because it's the parent that brought the child into the world. The child did not come here by themselves. So it's your job. Now, I think maybe Archie wanted to know whether he succeeds or he doesn't succeed. Is it my fault or his fault? So I admitted it's my fault. I think he was trying to make me point the fingers at myself, and I did. But I pointed one finger at myself and gave 4 to mommy. Because mommy is the specialist in taking care of children. Me, I'm like those Moses kind of people. You know, Moses, when I read about Moses, I said, Lord, deliver us. This is a man who God says, any prophet I raise, I will speak to them in visions and dreams. But my servant Moses, face to face. This is the man people will rise up against him, and God will say, why were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? The Bible said of all the people that were on earth, Moses was the meekest. Learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians. Brilliant man, mighty in signs and wonders. God showed him the promised land. This is one of the only human beings on earth who died on earth, and we don't know where he was buried. Up till today. The man God will keep on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights and give commandments to. Yet, in taking care of his only 2 sons, the man failed. Either he failed, or the enormous nature of his assignment did not allow him to succeed. took his two sons, went off with them. And then after that incident of the circumcision thing, the next time we hear about them is the disconnection and the reconnection. We don't know at what particular point Moses' family disconnected from him. But we know the time when they came back. We know the time when they came back. I call it a connection and a disconnection. And you see it in Exodus chapter 18, the verse number 1 to 6. I want to take you step by step so you will understand. Now, when Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard of all that God had done for Moses. God had done for Moses. God had done for Moses. God had done for Moses in the absence of his children. God had done for Moses when his children were not there. When the father-in-law heard all that God, all the miracles God had used him to do in the land of Egypt and in the wilderness, conquering one nation after the other, wherever they went, he said, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. When his father-in-law heard all that God had done for Moses and for Israel, his people, and that the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt. That means the assignment God gave Moses, he had fulfilled the assignment. Then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah. But we were told at a certain point that Moses took them. But now we are told the father-in-law took. The father-in-law took because at a certain point, daddy disengaged or disconnected from these children. And the children went back to his father-in-law in Midian. That talks to many of us who sometimes bring up children. We give birth to children and we can't take care of them. And our father-in-laws have to take over. Mother-in-laws have to take over. Some of you, it is your father who is taking care of your children. Your father and your mother are closer to your children than you yourself. You come to many of our societies and the children, and you know, Jane, we pride in it that as for children and their grandmothers and grandfathers, it is the grandmothers and grandfathers who pamper our children and are close to them, and we stand aside and watch. So along the line, either because his assignment was too dangerous, hazardous, whatever, I'm sure they looked at the thing, it was too dangerous. So father-in-law maybe said, you know, can I take these boys and your wife and look after them until you come out of this your craziness? Moses too maybe looked at the point and said, you know, they are going to kill them. But you see, Pastor Mike, they wouldn't have killed them because when God was sending him, he said, all the people who are looking for you are dead. That means the danger to destroy you has been taken out of the way. You are now impregnable, you are invincible, you are indestructible. But still, the man was afraid of something. And the father-in-law had to take the children away. And then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her back. He sent her back. Mr. Fomoko baby, go and hide them for me. And her two sons, of which the name of one was Gershom. For he said, I have been an alien in a strange land. And the name of the other was Eleazar. For the God of my father said he was my help and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife unto Moses into the wilderness, where he encamped at the mount of God. And he said unto Moses, I, thy father-in-law Jethro, I am come unto thee, and your wife and your two sons with her. I call this one connection and disconnection. Disconnection and connection. So they were disconnected and now they are connected. I want any father, any mother under the sound of my voice to start thinking, are your children disconnecting from you? Are they disconnecting? I did ministry for many, many years. At a certain point, I had to learn how to befriend my sons, to reconnect with them, because I realized that there was a disconnection. Because you see, conversation, I could converse with everybody but them. And that's because you are so busy with this work. There's a lot of torment and a lot of torture and the persecution and everything, and your emotions are all mixed up and you don't know what to do with yourself. So Mommy will say, take your time, take your time. I remember one day Mommy told me something. He said, Dad, I think your son thinks you are not listening to him. So I said, okay, wait a minute. Let me slow down and listen to him. Jane was telling us, we don't listen to them. We have to choose everything for them. Choose the shoe they wear. Choose the shirt they wear. I have looked at my sons. None of them are wearing suspenders. I think they decided among themselves. You see that this suspender, we won't follow. Maybe it's a coup d'etat. When I had plenty hair, I used to cut my hair that square. That one too, they decided, take a boot. Then both of them, I think they looked at my chin and it's too smooth. So they decided, Taliban, here we come. So they've got beard. And I look at them and like, Abba Dagberik, and they said, that is what we want. I said, okay. They looked at me, I'm a pastor. I'm crazy about this, my ministry. One said architecture, the other one oil. I asked him, brother, if you want oil, there's shea butter in Bolga. He said, no, petroleum engineering. I said, let's follow him. Everywhere he leads me, I will go. Is that not the thing they say? Anywhere he leads me, I will go. You know, so Mommy said, I think you should listen to them more. So I said, okay. You know me, I talk. If we have 1 hour to talk, mine is 55 minutes, yours is 5. Prepare for that. As for Mommy, she has accepted. So I talk and she'll be sitting down doing something. I'm sure whenever I finish, she said, now you finish. Then I say, but you didn't say anything. But the truth is, I didn't give space. The time is finished. Because by the time I finish, I'm like, let's go. The meeting, we are late. Look, we are late. I'm going to leave everybody behind. Meanwhile, I'm the one who chopped all the time. But you know, I had to learn. And people disconnect, connect. Some of us, sometimes they travel, they are far away. They are in a different geographical location from you. So Moses is somewhere, I don't know how many years, because they were in the wilderness for 40 years. Then now, his father-in-law has to take these boys and bring. And going by what Jane was saying, 4 to 15, Jethro was not a born-again man. He had his own idols, and he also believed in Jehovah. So I'm sure while they were with him, Gershom was looking at the idolatry. I will get to the point where I will show you that Moses' son Gershom, his son Jonathan became idolater. Moses' grandson worshipped idol and led the whole idol. So if you are sitting here and you are thinking that the gods of your grandfather or the god of your father in your knap, some of your grandchildren will not bring them back, you are deceiving yourself. They know where they threw the idol one day. Even if they were broken down, they know the mud and the sand they used to manufacture them. One day, if you are not careful, they will manufacture them back. And that is why you never take things for granted. So they were disconnected. They were with their father. They were with their grandfather. Later on, grandfather brought them back. But we don't hear so much about them. And in the Torah, this is the last mention of them in the Torah. So Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, which one again? Deuteronomy, Numbers. We don't hear of these boys again until in 1 Chronicles chapter 23, the verse number 14 to 17. And there we are told something else about them, that Moses had some descendants. You see, otherwise you will not even know the man had descendants. The Bible said, now concerning Moses, the man of God. Oh, everybody lift up your right hand and shout, Moses. The man of God. Now, so you see, he's a man of God. He's not a man of the family. What the Bible is trying to tell you is that this man was the man of God. And many times when they see you and they say, man of God, man of God, man of God, you are so excited being the man of God. I'm the man of God. I'm the woman of God. This was Moses, the man of God. His sons were named of the tribe of Levi. That means when you are talking about the Levites, his sons were among the sons of Moses were Gershom and Eleazar. And the sons of Gershom were Shebuel. He was a chief. So Shebuel, that is the son of Gershom, one of the sons of Gershom. And the sons of Eleazar were Rehabiah. Some people also spell it sometimes Rehabiah, the chief. And Eleazar had no other sons. So Eleazar had one son. He had no other sons, but the Rehabiah produced many children. So they said, and the sons of Rehabiah were very many. So it means Moses had a lot of descendants. He had two sons, and then his sons also produced. Gershom had Shebuel and Jonathan, and then the man called Eleazar, he also had Rehabiah, and Rehabiah was the only son he had. But the Rehabiah, or the Rehabiah, had many sons. So we know that the man had a lot of descendants through his children. Now, when they entered the promised land and they began to do things, in the days of David, we are told something about Moses' descendants. That in 1 Chronicles chapter 26, the verse number 24, we are told that Shebuel, you know the Shebuel I just mentioned, that Shebuel, the son of Gershom, the son of Moses, was the ruler of the treasuries. So he found a place, at least, that he's not the high priest, he's not one of the captains of the army, but he managed to find a little place somewhere to be the ruler of the treasuries. So the man was taking care of the treasuries in the days of Moses. So that is at least one good thing. But the heartbreaking one, let's come to the heartbreaking story. Judges chapter 18 and the verse number 31. Judges 18, 31, 30 and 31. Judges 18, 30 and 31. And the children of Dan set up the graven image. So the children of Dan, or the Danites, they set up a graven image. And Jonathan, the son of Gershom, the son of Manasseh. Now, this is one of the confusions in the translations of the Bible. When you come across the King James translation in particular, sometimes there are so many confusions that some people just say that, you know what, this translation has too many errors. You see the son of Manasseh, and we really don't know what it means, because Jonathan, the son of Gershom, we understand that Jonathan is the son of Gershom. But Gershom in the Bible is not the son of Manasseh. So they believe that it is a mistranslation. That word is supposed to be Moses. Some people too say the name is supposed to be Menashe. Menashe. So Menashe or Moses. But some too believe that it is written here the son of Manasseh, because Manasseh was an evil person. They believe that Manasseh did a lot of evil things. So they saw the Gershom son as somebody who is a son of Gershom, but at the same time, his practices were so idolatrous that he's comparable to King Manasseh in the Bible. So they just believe that this word is Manasseh because the man is also like the way you have the son of perdition and you have the son of peace. They believe that this one is a son of Manasseh because of his deeds. But you see, this cannot be, because at the time they were writing these judges, Manasseh the king was not there. So it couldn't have been. So I believe this thing is supposed to be, and Jonathan, the son of Gershom, the son of Moses. So the word you are seeing here, Manasseh, is supposed to be Moses. And I've done enough research to conclude that this word here is supposed to be Moses. Now, this is why you go to church, so that your pastor can tell you the thing you are reading, which is not supposed to be the way you are seeing it. So this is Moses. So the children of Dan set up a graven image, and Jonathan, the son of Gershom, the son of Manasseh, he and his sons were priests to the tribe of Dan until the captivity of the land. So until the time when King Sanherib or King Sennacherib came and took them into captivity, the people of Dan, some parts of the tribe of Dan, were worshiping idols, and Moses' grandson was the one who was leading them in the worship of the idols. Now, Moses' sons, Moses' grandchildren, were the sons of Gershom. Were they two or one? Was it Shebuel and Jonathan? Or the same Shebuel is the one we are calling Jonathan here? Some people believe that the Shebuel was the one, he used to be the Jonathan, he led them into idolatry. Later on he repented and then he became Jonathan. I'm confusing you with a lot of names and things like that. That is to show you that I'm a student of the Bible and you work with PWD. Otherwise, how will you know that we do different jobs? How will Minister Edgar see me and throw me salute unless I know what he doesn't know? So when I give you all this, that you are being old. So that Uben will say, I labor in the word and doctrine. And I'm not like you who pick up your Bible and you read your Bible like graphic. Who can you hear? No. So, but my belief is that Gershom had two sons. Shebuel was one. The idolatrous one was the Jonathan. The man went and became an idolater, and I believe that maybe that window of the period when they were with when Gershom was with their father-in-law. You know, people have all kinds of stories about Jethro and Moses. Some people believe, now let me confuse you again. Some people believe that the reason why Gershom was not circumcised until God attacked them was because there was agreement between Jethro and Moses, that when you get your first son, we will dedicate that one to the idols. That one will not be circumcised. And then the second one, you can circumcise. So Eliezer was circumcised, but Gershom was not, because Gershom had been dedicated to idols. That is the way some people believe. So naturally, Gershom's son, the Jonathan, now becomes an idolater. Listen, there are many of you under the sound of my voice. You have not cut the links. You are still connected to the idols of your people. And the time you know you are an idolater, I can tell you without embarrassment, is during funerals. Whenever you see a funeral, it will define you, who you are. And a lot of the idolatry, they come in the form of traditions and culture. And they'll tell you, oh, this one is our tradition. This one is our culture. Where is it coming from? And it will go from generation to generation, from generation to generation. And you too will pick it up. And because you don't have the manness or the manliness to deal with the thing, you pass it on to your children. I tell you all the time that my father did something for me which I never valued until the man died and went. When my father died, my mother died. Mommy's father died. Mommy's mother died. Letitia, all the four, nobody appeared to claim their bodies. We did what we wanted to do. We were in charge. I buried my father without interference. I buried my mother without interference. In the Upper East region, no traditionalists came and said, do this or do that. And no elder came. They died almost as if they were Methuselah. No, not Methuselah. Melchizedek. As if they are no lineage and they are no body. I'm not saying cut off your relatives. But you know, if you are my relative and you come to my father's funeral or my mother's funeral, you are coming to cooperate. You are not coming to dictate. No. What should be done for them? I will put it down, not you. I will put it down. And you know what? Everybody around my family, they understand it. They know they are dealing with a man who is a soldier to the core. You saw today the way I push Fred out of the way. Me, that is me. The thing is an instinct. I do it without thinking twice the way you do yours. My life is not like that. If I want this and that is the way I want it, I make sure it's done that way. Listen, I pray that God will give some of you the boldness to know that you have an opportunity to change life for your children and for your children's children and for your children's children's children, so that the battle you are fighting today, your children will not fight the battle. My father was an illiterate. He fought a battle for me and I don't have to fight that battle, and definitely my children will not fight that battle. Moses, the man who wrote, I am the Lord thy God, thou shalt have no other God before me, thou shalt not make unto me any graven images. His grandson is worshiping graven image and leading a whole of the portion of the tribe of Dan to worship an idol. Idolatry in Moses' family. I don't know whether some of your children will bring witchcraft, divinations, enchantments. It's so sad. Children are an arrow. They are arrows in the hands of the mighty man. But Moses' children, another sad thing, we are talking about priest. We are talking about priest. Moses has two sons, Gershom, Eleazar. We are naming priest. And in Numbers chapter 3, the verse number 1, 2, and maybe possibly 3, these also are the generations of Aaron and Moses. In the day that the Lord spake with Moses in Mount Sinai, the generation of Moses and Aaron. And I thought it would start speaking about Moses because of how powerful he is. As soon as the Bible said, God, these are the generations of Moses and Aaron, it brushed Moses aside. The whole of this conversation didn't talk about Gershom. It didn't talk about Jonathan. It just went straight and said, these also are the generations of Aaron and Moses in the day that the Lord spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai. Verse number 2. And these are the names of the sons of Aaron. The sons of Moses are not mentioned. These are the names of the sons of Aaron. Nadab, the firstborn, and Abihu, and Eleazar, and Itamar. Verse number 3. And these are the names of the sons of Aaron, which were priests that were anointed, whom he consecrated to minister in the priest office. So he consecrated his brother's children to minister in the presence of the Lord, and his own sons, Gershom and Eleazar, are nowhere to be found. They were not named in the priesthood. Later on, like I said, Gershom, his son Jonathan, now finds his way, and the man becomes an idolater. But the Bible said in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 6 and the verse number 7, he said concerning the law, he said, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in the house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. So you are supposed to teach your children the law. But Moses' children, we are not seeing them. They are nowhere to be found. Somebody attempt clapping your hands if you... But you see, there are Jewish sources that talk about the fact that if you train your brother's children and teach them the law, you become their father. So definitely, Aaron's children were Moses' children because he taught them the ways of God. But that doesn't mean neglect your own children. Huh? It's like if me and mommy decide that we want to train our daughter Ajoa, but we forget about the boys. No, Ajoa is our daughter. No two ways about that. She's our daughter. We don't see her as the daughter of another man. No, she's our daughter. But the other ones too must receive attention. Moses gave attention to Aaron's children. He trained them to be priests. His own, he did not train. And you know, sometimes this is one of the worries that comes to me. You normally hear this thing about pastors training their children to take over their. I've heard of that thing. That all these pastors are training their children to take over. How many of you have heard this? Now, my problem is a blackmail. Everybody say blackmail. Come on, say it again. Now, why other people's children to take over? But there's everything wrong with they training their children to take over. Is it logical? So even if their children qualify,